Okay, I'm gonna try to do a 1,000-mile review, even though it's 1,141 miles we've got on the thing so far. So I'm trying to get this mount figured out first. So that goes in there. So I bought the bike in May. It was the whole point of buying it was my brother has a trail bike, and due to his circumstances, it seemed to be the only thing to kind of get his mind focused on other things. We all have our demons and stuff like that, and his trail bike was something that was helping, you know, focus his mind, take his mind off of things. You know, everybody has their own escape. Some people drink their problems away, some people smoke them away, some people just get into things that they shouldn't be into in general. You know, same thing, women wear makeup. It's a nice little escape from reality. So he got a trail bike, but had nobody to ride with. So, because I figured, one, we're getting too old, we're getting older, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. And the fact that we already lost one brother, I decided if I could refinance my truck back to what it had already been at when I got it, and add $5 a month to my truck payment, and this is what I was able to afford after refinancing it. It's 2022 Lifan Xpect 200cc, fuel injected, got 1,141 miles on it. It's a little bit of a blend, on-road, off-road. Obviously more on-road miles, you get more miles in when you're on-road than off-road. So far, as a brand new rider, never ridden a bike before, I got on this thing and I killed it about 50 times just trying to leave the driveway. We brought it over to a buddy's house and put it together in his garage, and about 50 times before I could even get down to the end of the road, I probably killed it about 50 times. So I had no experience, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know how to ride, didn't know anything, didn't know how to put them together. Came in knowing nothing. So that's where we began. I learned how to do little minor assembly stuff like that and started learning to ride. I went and got my permit, and as soon as I got my permit, waited for my girlfriend to get into town, and we headed out to go get it. And we drove down an hour and a half to Mosinee, Wisconsin, and we picked it up in the crate. We could have gotten one that was already assembled, but I wanted the orange because we've got a truck that we're supposed to do in orange and black, and I wanted it to match because that'll be what hauls this sometimes. But also, it's just, at the time I wasn't seeing anybody with the orange. I seen the green, I seen the blue, I seen the red everywhere. I love the blue. I think the blue is absolutely gorgeous. I think the green is absolutely gorgeous. The red is a nice red. I'm not a fan of red though, so, but it is a metallic. You can't see it here. Maybe we'll get it in the light. It's more of a metallic orange. Not that it really matters because my side covers are missing right now. They're not missing. I broke them off. I slammed the bike down in a van, putting it into a van, and broke them off. I mean, the thing shines up really nice in the light. I don't really know how to do reviews. So far, fires up, runs good, great gas mileage. I'm getting like 85 to 90 when I'm just riding it as a commuter. I don't do a lot of commuting. I get to about 60 on the thing. I'm about 220 pounds, and I think I need an oil change and stuff like that. As far as things that I've broken on the bike were the levers. I snapped one of them off. Don't remember. Yeah, I snapped the brake lever off. So ordered new ones. Got an adjustable clutch lever, which I broke already. Not so much the fault of the actual levers themselves probably, but the fact that nothing's made to get slammed into slammed into things repeatedly. You know, constantly breaking that back right turn signal. I don't know why. So still have the stock turn signals up front. I added these here which I wish I would have gotten on video on how I did that, but I probably should start it for them to come on, right? 1141 miles later, it still runs good, still fires right up. It's still it's held up for the most part. Nothing structurally has been damaged on it. I gotta take this damn hoodie off. The bike's wet because it was covered in frost. It was covered in ice. And now I had a hoodie on and my riding jacket, and now I'm sweating. And I haven't even gotten riding yet. Well, maybe I shouldn't take the hoodie off. Maybe I'll just take the jacket off for now until I get riding, because then it's gonna get cold because I'm gonna have the wind on me. So overall, for what I was after, a beginner rider looking to figure out how to ride, how to go off-roading a little bit, try to keep up with my brother on the trails. He's got a KLX 230, what is it, KLX 230R Kawasaki. So no, I can't keep up with him on the road, on the trails, anything like that as far as speed goes. His bike is faster. He's got this big ass dinner plate for a rear sprocket, and he's got, you know, rear disc and everything like that, which doesn't matter in the speed. But it's, you know, as far as if you could afford like a used name brand bike, probably that's the way to go, so that you're not disappointed or anything like that. But if you really can't afford a used bike, or you want to get something brand new, every single mile on it is yours. Every single thing that's done to it is yours, and you don't want to break the bank. I think it's an absolutely viable option. I mean, who is this bike for? It would be beginner rider, a smaller rider, a commuter, somebody who doesn't want to put in a lot of money. If you're just commuting back and forth to work, like you're a college student or something like that, I think it'll hold up absolutely wonderfully. You probably don't need the Xpect. You might want like a KPR or a KP or anything like that, or even a KP Mini if you're sticking with Lifan. The Hawk 250 seems to be a very viable option. The TBR7, all these China bikes, they're up in their game, and they're becoming the exact opposite of what everybody thinks. However, you do have, you know, your spaghetti forks up front. These are absolutely thin as hell. I think the KPX looks a lot beefier, and I'm hoping that's my next bike. Yeah, the bolts, they say that they all rattle off, and you got to tighten them after every single ride, and I tightened a few of them. But overall, I think I went over every single one with a wrench, and a couple of them were loose, and it wasn't nearly as bad as what people thought. As far as ease of maintenance, there's nothing on here an inexperienced person can't do. A little bit of research online, or you just tear it apart like I do. The valves, I learned a little bit about the valves, but in the end I just tore it apart. I adjusted the valves because it kept stalling out on me. I adjusted the valves, it hasn't stalled out on me since. Starter's still working. The only issue, I mean, you can see where I've just put this thing into the ground many times. I've laid this thing down more times than I can count. I've bounced it off of trees, I ran it through brush, I ran it through everything. I haven't replaced the stock chain at all yet. It's all rusted out. I haven't oiled it, nothing. I guess I'm kind of seeing what the bike can take for abuse without overly abusing it. You know, it's an off-road, on-road bike. If I had like a more on-road oriented bike, it would definitely be more well cared for. But that's not what this is. This is a dual sport. This is meant to go pretty much anywhere. Obviously it'll have its limitations, but as a cheap go anywhere, do whatever, I see a trail over there, let's go see where that goes. If you want to explore, you want to just adventure, I think it's ideal. I think it's great for that. It's not perfect, not in any way. It has its flaws, absolutely. It's underpowered. It is lightweight though, so if I were to be on this, or if I were to be on my brother's bike and he were to be on this, I have a feeling this would probably either hold, you know, either hang with or maybe even beat the KLX. As him on his bike at like 130, 140 pounds, and then me on mine at 220, he just walks. He just walks away from, it's probably not going to show a distance very well, but from about the top of the hill here, which is 1, 2, 3, about probably the second, we'll say the second light power line there. So the second power line, we'll start there. This is a slight downhill, and we'll run down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 poles down. It's hard to judge the distance on the camera. Maybe a quarter mile. Maybe. We'll have to measure it out and mark the road at a quarter mile and a quarter mile. We'll put a stake in or something like that on either end. And then we could just chalk a line. But I do want to race them down and back. You know, down, see which one won, document it. Back, which one won, document it. It'll be his. Switch riders. Put him on mine and mine on his. And then run it again and see how the outcome changes. So that's a plan for a video, hopefully. Overall, no, single engine or single piston engine, you know, just a single thumper, super easy to maintain, super easy to do an oil change. There's an air or oil screen in there, but there's no air oil filter. And then, you know, drop your oil, add the proper-ish amount. I overfill it, I underfill it, I don't know. I'm not very precise with it. Some people are super picky about that. I'm not. I put the oil in it and I run it. If it overfills, it'll come out the tube. If you're under full, you're not really going to be under full very often. Put in a quart and then like a capful. And so I don't see why, you know, there's nothing majorly wrong with my bike. I've broken off levers, I've broken this thing, kinda, you know, it's broke there. This thing's broke here. You know, it gets the hell beat out of it, you know? I think I'm a little, yeah, we'll probably have to fix that. Well, I don't do a lot of night riding. I put in this LED. I don't like that LED. It just scatters light. I can't see shit. It's angling off into the oncoming traffic. It's just not the one for me. You know, front disc, rear drum. It's got passenger pegs. Who the hell are you gonna put on there? Got your little toolbox here. You know, you got your ugly ass mud flap thing there. But everything overall works. I've torn the seat because I ran into a tree. The plastics are off because I can't find the one. I broke it and then I got a new one and now I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. So I think that's about it, you know. As far as, again, who the rider's for, your college commuter, your beginner rider, you're somebody who just wants a bike on the side, you know. Somebody who's not gonna do a lot of riding, but they want to have a bike for the occasional ride, take it out and beat on it, take it out and, you know, just go have some fun. You know, it's good for that. I mean, it's not a competition bike. I do want to take it on a track though. I'm gonna try to find a track that'll let me take it on there and kind of learn some things. And I'm not wearing the proper gloves, I'm not wearing the proper boots. I've got to replace all that over the winter. You know, hopefully we can get this thing to get figured out. But somebody who's just learning, this is perfect for them. You know, somebody who wants to learn how to wheelie, the bike will wheelie. I don't really know much about it, about wheeling, but it'll pull the front tire off the ground with very little effort. Going down the road, does it have enough power? No, it's got about 14 horsepower. So it'll pull the front tire though. Somebody who knows how to wheelie could definitely get it going. You know, it'll go off road. The grass is wet, so I probably shouldn't be, but got a nice little slide there. Again, somebody who's good at riding probably drifts it. I'm happy so far with my purchase of it. You know, yes, it's Chinese, and you know, there's a lot that we're getting told about China and their politics and their governing strategies. You know, I don't know how much of it's true. I don't know how much to believe or anything like that. We'll never know the truth with anything. So You know, if you absolutely refuse to support China by buying Chinese stuff, well, it's going to be very hard to, see, I killed it. It's going to be very hard to avoid spending money on Chinese stuff. Everything comes from China in some way or another. Just the nature of business, and all companies are using Chinese stuff. So, and if you don't want to do it from a political aspect to buy one, then that's your choice, your own opinion, and I can appreciate that. But yeah, coming up the hill, pop a little wheelie at the top of it. It's fun. It's hard to buy something like this and not have a good time, because you're doing stupid things on a cheap, slow bike. If you're looking for speed, you're looking for something that's going to be good at racing others and keeping up with, you know, the top four, you know, the big four brand bikes, you're not gonna do it. This isn't it. You know, throw some Pro Taper bars on it, because you're gonna bend the stock ones if you're doing anything with it, anything ridiculous, or if you're pushing it even a little bit. You know, I laid it down in the yard and just bent the hell out of the bars. That was the end of those. So, fogging up on my glasses here. This is the absolute worst temperature right now, because I'm sweating but I'm cold. It's like, I don't even know what it is for temperature. It's got to be like 40 something degrees. I don't know why it's so warm. No idea why it's so warm. There's no way it's 33 degrees. It is 33 degrees. I have no idea why it is. God, the sun is beating on me and fogging things up. There's no way this is 33. I guess it is, whatever. But the sun's shining. Seems like a nice day. I'm gonna try to get one. It's gonna be one of my final rides for the season. I already know that. So we've got some things to test out, like this camera. We got a phone mount for the phone. Yeah, a chin mount for the phone. We'll see how that goes. I know I'm missing some things. I'm gonna work on getting like the links and stuff for the, like the holders, the camera. Damn it. Getting new gloves. You know, the brake assembly here. This brake assembly, it works really good. I did bend the absolute hell out of it right there on the last ride. I slammed it down pretty good. It took forever to bleed. The clutch